Ben are just deep regrets.
I know.
Of voting Jake. We literally, as soon as we stepped out of that fucking room, we were like, what have we done? Because first of all, we all really like Jake. He's a really nice guy. Second of all, this was our time to get Johnny out. But
it was so stupid.
It was so
genuinely
stupid.
so stupid. I'm not sure why Phelan has to have like a this connection.
What happened was I texted in our group chat and they started being like, I regret that, like I feel so bad. And I think it was more of like they just feel bad for voting him out when he like clearly trusted us. Yeah. Which like, yeah, it sucks. But like I told Valentina, I was like, you know, I've had issues with him lying to me since like the first place. And like I didn't trust him fully. But also like that came into play, but then the whole like him and Zach being like a very powerful dynamic. And collectively like lying. Zach tried to play it off when I was talking to him, like immediately after. He was like, we didn't try and lie. But then he like said later, he's like, well, like if you didn't find out, like, yeah, we're gonna keep it a secret. And I was like, yeah. I think I'd rather go to tribal or to the finals with something like a Graham or a Johnny, or if it's just two of us, Graham, because that would mean with more Esukaris up like in the final, that means there's theoretically more Noir on the jury. So they would vote for me, in theory.
Ben actually reached out to me, and he says that we're in the same boat? What? I appreciate you reaching out, because I sent a mass text to Phelan, Valentina, Ben, Kata. Only Phelan even responded, and then Ben reached out to me the next day. Like, what? He said we're in the same boat. You have your duo. I lost my duo. Like, you still have your original people supporting you. So I'm really intrigued to see what he has to bring to the table. I said, we haven't talked yet, but I said to him, I'm very open to talking. I'm really excited for this challenge. I think this is the one challenge where I need to actually try. The last challenge, I actually tried throwing it, and I got a couple answers right that I was trying to get wrong. So this time, I have to go at it. And I know I've said this whole game, oh, I'm going to be throwing every competition. Well, you know what? There are a lot of factors that I could not control. I think playing with Jake, who's in my fraternity, it's been a strength, but at the same time, it's been a weakness. It's made me a target. Because I haven't been targeted before Jake. Jake has made me a target. Which, I mean, not that I'm upset with that, but, I mean, I'm actually fine with being a target because I think that brings conversations closer to me. Like, Ben's reaching out now to talk to me about the game. Maybe there is something I don't know. So, I actually don't mind being the center of attention right now because I just lost my biggest ally.
Right, because did you know that they told that Graham tried telling Phelan that it was that Preston's idol was fake because Johnny told Ben. Ben was the one that was like, it's fake, just keep it going. But we were like, how do you know? But he wouldn't tell us because we were all just scrambling right then and there. So I was like, this is it, I'm going home. Because they voted for me last time, so I was like, they're going to vote for me now. And the idol, and I was like, this is it. I was like, I guess I'm going home. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but like, I was literally just on my phone when I went back in. Like, I wasn't talking to anyone. No, I was just like texting. What's the point? I was like texting people, and I was like, killing squirrels is over.
Okay, first things first. That's the monster young money is the roster in the month.
Yeah, my money's so Nikki on the titty when I signed it. So mine did. UCK. Nikki because she said she on a diet but my pocket cheesecake. But was the same ride Chuck and say kill another girl read it Memorial Day. Besides, yeah, they can't stand beside me. I think you and on Friday. Pink wig thick ass, give him whiplash. I think I got blink fast. No, this is what you live for. I'm a motherfucking monster.
Bro, that was so bad.
Hello, I'm doing my makeup, so I look a little funny. So we had the overnight challenge. I can talk a little bit about that. Basically, we kept getting texts. Every hour on the hour, we get a challenge.
So first of all, I love that challenge. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't think I won though. I think Johnny won, which is still good because as long as Zach doesn't win, we're fine.
I tried to complete a lot of them. It kind of worked to my advantage, but also not to my advantage that I stayed in last night. So I didn't go out. It was Saturday night. And there were several challenges that were asking to interact with strangers. So I unfortunately couldn't really do those. Even the people in my hall were all out, so I couldn't really ask them.
So I just discovered this morning that it is in everyone's plan. It's on everyone's plan to take me to the final 3. Why, you may ask? Well, because nobody thinks I can win. Because I've done nothing in the game. Which is, I used to think false, but the more I think about it, like, true. Am I mad about it? No, not really. Am I offended? No, not really. Am I entertained? Very. And that's what matters. Johnny told me that he wants me, Graham, Ben, and him to go to Final 4. And then Phelan wants me, her, and Valentina to go to Final 3. And that's basically everyone in the game. And then there's Zach. But Zach is doing his own thing.
As you know, we kind of made like a very bold vote for Jake last week. And I don't know where that's put me in the eyes of like my tribe. I don't know if they're like afraid that I like made that power move. And they're like, that was a dumb decision, we need to vote her off. I don't know what's going on with that. Basically, we need to get Zach and Johnny gone, like, ASAP. Zach, solely for the sake that he's physically challenging, and I think coming down to a final couple people challenge, he would be difficult to take on. Johnny, because he is also very good at challenges, and he is kind of building a very good resume. So that's frightening. I think Johnny won. Honestly, that's the perfect thing that would have happened for me. So everyone else on my old tribe wants to get Johnny out as soon as possible. I have to convince them that Johnny is safe and we have to vote Zach. Because by doing that, if we vote Zach, I maintain my trust with Graham and Johnny. And then moving forward into next week, potentially I can get Valentina to flip with me, Graham and Johnny, and take out Ben or Kata, preferably Ben.
So I'm in the ins with everyone because nobody sees me as a threat. I'm in Final 7 and my name has not been written down once. Do people think I'm weak? Impossible. Do people think I'm dumb? Impossible too. Do I know how to prove that? No. I'm not dumb, I promise. I'm in the Final 7, so I did something right. Maybe it was just sticking to the right people, but if I just made the alliance with the right person, is that not a strategy? Point made. Point made. What is the theme for Survivor? Double trouble. No. Outlast, outwit, outplay. Let's go through my journey to the Final 7, going over these 3 things. Outlast, I'm in the Final 7. Outwit, I'm in the Final 7. I'll play. I'm in the final 7. If they vote me out, I am literally, I don't know how to express this to you guys. I am so content that I've made it this far, that if they vote me out now, I literally couldn't care. And like, not in a mean way, not that I don't respect the game. I respect the game. And I think it's so cool. And I think, you know, people putting a lot of effort into it is like very admirable. I'm just not one of them. I have no desire to actually win. The thing that makes me the most anxious is actually making it to the final 3 and having to answer questions. Because I know that I'm going to sit there like... Because I can't speak in public. I don't want to make it to final 2. Because that brings me a lot of anxiety. What doesn't bring me anxiety is going to tribal with nothing to lose, having both sides kind of like telling me stuff, and then playing games. People might not like me, but I'm having fun. Or people might like me, but I'm still having fun.
I've been talking to Ben and Phelan a lot today, trying to see what they're thinking. It seems like we're voting Zach, but I tried to talk to them about, in case Zach won, what do we do? And unfortunately, it seems like they're saying it would be Johnny if Zach doesn't win, which sucks, but I think Johnny won. And if anyone wins that's not Zach, then we're fine. It doesn't really matter if Johnny wins. When I asked Ben, I said, what happens if Zach doesn't win? He said, would you vote out Johnny? And I was like, oh, this sucks. This is bad. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I do have to worry about next week, because if the only thing in the way of them voting out Johnny is Zach, and then Zach's gone next vote, what happens? You know, it really doesn't look good. I'm really not worried that everyone's lying to me and they're voting me out this week. I think if they were going to do something like that, they would vote Johnny instead. Oh, actually, but Johnny's going to win. So maybe I should be a little bit worried. That's something I haven't thought about too much, but I think they're telling the truth this week. I know I've been wrong most of the time when I say that, but I feel good this week. I think right now, I mean, I don't want to sound confident again, but I don't think I'm getting voted off today. I think if things go badly after Zach goes, I think Johnny would go and then me. So I think realistically, the worst I'm going to do is 5th place. I don't know what to do for the finale. I don't know if I would even be able to win. Like, I don't know what I would be able to say to convince the jury to vote for me. I don't know who I could possibly beat in the finale. That's something I should have thought about a little more, I think.
Here's what I think about everyone who's in right now. Phelan, paranoia is really starting to get to her. She's trying to play the game too hard. She's scrambling. She's talking to everyone and giving everyone different information. I feel like that's going to be her downfall. If she had just like stuck to the alliance and like trusted in people, like it would have been fine, but she's scrambling and she's starting to get very paranoid. Zach has a special place in my heart. Zach is floating. Zach has been floating. I identify with Zach a lot because I feel like we're 2 floaters in this game. We've just been like, you know, enjoying the ride. Johnny is trying so... He's like playing the game, you know? Like playing the game. But to a level that is like, you okay? Like, are you okay? Do you need a hug? You know? Relax. It's fine. I feel like he gets really stressed about the game, which is fine, but sometimes I'm like, you know, I just want him to remember that it's just a game. Graham, here's the thing. If you're gonna say that I've been carried to the final 7, so has Graham. If I have been carried to this point, so has he. Like, if I've done no moves, he's done no moves too, is what I think. Valentina. I really like Valentina. I think she's so funny. I think she's playing the game pretty well, honestly. Ben. I want Ben to win. Well, first of all, he's my duo, of course. But Ben, really good at lying. It's actually quite funny. Because I always know the lie, because I'm always, like, in cahoots with him. So it's just to see him lying so well, and I'm like, damn. Like, it's genuinely impressive. It's a genuine, like, talent. Ben is a great player. Ben is a great player. So is Johnny, so is Valentina. Graham, I wouldn't say is a great player. Zach, I wouldn't say is a great player. Phelan was a great player up to this point. and now she's starting to get paranoid, which is like a very thin line of when you get too paranoid. When you cross that line, you're like, what's the name of the lady that like goes crazy paranoid? Dawn. No good, no bueno.
I still have this bad boy. I am gonna bring it. I really hope I don't have to use it. If I play it, then does Valentina look at me and go, "You've been lying to me the whole time"? That type of thing. It's gonna be a very interesting vote tonight because we don't know who's safe until we get there, so we need 2 plans. I'm trying to get plan A to be Zach. And hopefully plan A or B is not me.
So if Johnny does have immunity, then ideally I think we would vote off Phelan because she's like very strong. But Valentina doesn't want to vote off Phelan right now. If we kind of went behind her back and voted off Phelan, I feel like we would lose Valentina as a whole. Like she would stop trusting me and Ben, and we would just like lose her as a player.
It's about 15 minutes before the vote, so I have to do this quickly, but very last update, I'm worried I just screwed myself over a little bit. Ben was texting me basically saying nothing bad. I just didn't have to do this. He said like, it's Zach, and if Zach wins the challenge, then unfortunately it'll be Johnny. And Phelan was telling me the same thing, so I was fine with that. And he said he was worried about Phelan and Valentina. I was like, oh, what if, like, potentially it's possible to do a blindside right now? And basically he was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Who would you want to vote out? And then at that point I was like, oh, that's not a good response. To me that says like, he just told them what I said, and now they're going to vote me out, and he's just going to play along. And then we went on a call with Zach, and we told Zach we're going to vote for Phelan and that Ben would flip with us. And I told Ben that we were telling him that. Oh, I think I screwed myself over. I think this is it. I feel really badly about this vote. I'm going to use my extra vote just because I can. Just because why not? I straight up told Ben, I was like, I think me telling you this just screwed me over. Like, I'm a little worried that you might have just told them this and then I screwed myself. And he was like, no, you're fine. We're talking a little bit, but I'm still worried about them. But I'm going to feel dumb if I get voted out.
All right, survivors, welcome back. Long night last night. I know at least for some of you, myself especially. But you guys ready to find out who won immunity this week?
Yeah.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read through each prompt, who got the points. I'll give a little tally mark. Obviously, whoever has the most points at the end wins immunity. Go right into a vote off, and then we'll go vote. So the first prompt was take a 10-second shower with all of your clothes on. That went to Johnny. So Johnny starts off with the first point. Second one was flip a water bottle 3 times in a row. That one went to Graham.
Nice.
Put Graham right there. Number 3 was make a meme related to Survivor Syracuse Season 6. The first 2 people got those. Those went to Kata and Johnny.
Nice.
Number 4, selfie with an animal, went to Valentina for getting a real animal. Number 5, which was leapfrog with 3 other people, also went to Valentina. So after 5 prompts, we've got 2 for Valentina, 2 for Johnny, 1 for Graham, 1 for Kata. Number 6 was film a video with the correct elimination order. First person to get that in was Graham. Graham joins the 2-point party. Number 7 was rap Nicki Minaj's feature on Monster by Kanye West. That also went to Johnny.
I'm disappointed.
Number 8 was do the Neon Moon, Edward Briggs TikToks, or Briggs Edwards TikTok, whatever his name is. That went to Johnny as well. Johnny jumps out to 4. Number 9, which is a picture in your Halloween costume for this year. That went to Valentina's pimp costume. Put that on there. Number 10 was take a selfie where we all first met with someone else on, I don't remember if I said if it was original tribe or whatever, but that went to Graham and Johnny. So Graham with 3, Johnny with 5 now. Number 11 was toss some food up decently high and catch it in your mouth. That went to Zach. So Zach gets his first point.
I'm on board.
Number 12 was ask a stranger about the current socioeconomic position America is in right now. That also went to Zach.
Alright, babe. I'm bored.
Zach puts 2 up back to back. Number 13 was just from a video telling me a joke, and then with your best Seth Rogen laugh afterwards. None of them were good, but I can't do a good one either. That went to Kata.
Nice.
Up there.
I had to use what is
Number 14 was find me and give me a firm handshake. It was very cold. I was sitting outside Bird. That went to Graham and Johnny. So Graham with 4 now, Johnny with 6. Number 15 was send me your favorite SoundCloud remix. That went to Johnny as well. So let's see, after 15, we've got Johnny in the lead with 7. Graham not far behind with 4. Valentina with 3. Kata and Zach both with 2. Number 16 was ask a stranger for a cigarette. That went to Valentina up in Canada. Number 17 was perform a gymnastics routine with at least 3 gymnastics moves. That went to Johnny, but that was a close one. A lot of people got those in quick, but Johnny came out on top. Number 18 was film a recipe TikTok with at least 4 different ingredients. That one went to Pascal for his vile concoction that he made, but still counted. Number 19 was find the scene in season 2 where our president, Mike Rizzuto, is vomiting after cutting his chin open during a challenge. That went to Johnny as well. Right there, he's got 9 now. Number 20 was draw a hand turkey with a little hat on it. That one also went to Johnny. So Johnny's at 10.
I have no life.
Number 21 was perform the Cotton Eye Joe. 2 people could have gotten points. Only 1 person submitted. That was for Pascal.
Damn.
So he's got 4. Number 22 was just do 30 push-ups. That went to Johnny as well. So he's up to 11. Number 13 was like do the condiment shampoo thing. I got a nice little video of Johnny putting honey mustard in his hair. So that's 12 for Johnny. And finally was number 24 was the elevator pitch, in which Kata got the point for convincing me to buy a fat water bottle.
Yes.
So Johnny wins immunity this week with 12 points. And then Graham and Valentina both behind him with 4, with Zach with 4 as well, and Kata with 3. Ben and Phelan both got 0. But Johnny, congratulations. Well deserved. There you go. All right, so you now know who has immunity. So let's talk for a minute. Back, final 7, home stretch. After today, that number will be cut to 6, where only 1/3 of the starting players will still be in. Today, we are joined with 1 member of the jury, Preston, who will be listening in to this vote-off. Graham, we'll start with you. What did you think of the U-Up challenge? What was your initial reaction to it, and what was kind of your mindset for it over the last 24 hours?
When I saw the video of you describing what it was, I was ready for it to be really fun. I was excited as soon as I saw it. And even throughout, I had a lot of fun with it. You know, kind of like what Johnny just said, I don't have a life. So every hour I was ready to do it. I didn't win a lot of them, but I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Valentina, you were in Canada during this challenge, but you still completed a lot of the prompts and got yourself a handful of points. What did you think of the challenge?
I had such a good time doing it. All my friends refer to Survivor as killing squirrels. So every hour it was like, we gotta kill squirrels. So we were like in the club, at the restaurant, in the middle of the street. I don't remember where else we were. We were in a museum. It was exciting. It was fun. It was a little disappointing too when there were some things that I couldn't do because I wasn't in a home, like on campus. But I still had a lot of fun doing it.
Johnny, as we just revealed, you were all over this challenge and won immunity.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to win immunity this week?
Well, it's always important. I always want to feel safe. I feel like the challenges were also something I could do. I had tons of fun. My parents were actually supposed to come up yesterday. Told them to stay home because I didn't want to, interrupt every hour on the hour. So they're coming up soon.
That's dedication. That's dedication. Phelan, you just found out only a few minutes ago that Johnny will have immunity this week. How did you come into this week strategizing without having that kind of crucial information?
It was, just one of those things where you have like a plan A and then you're like, okay, you have to have a plan B. It was a really fun challenge, and I think I knew going into it there were going to be people like more dedicated than me, and I knew it was gonna be tough to see like who ended up on top, and it was close, but obviously Johnny killed it. So.
Zach, same question to you. How was your week in terms of coming up with a plan for today without knowing who's going to have the meeting?
Definitely not what we're used to. It's a little bit different. You gotta kind of look at things from different angles, different perspectives, and kind of play the different scenarios of if this person wins. But yeah.
Kata, at this point, it's 4 original Noir members and 3 original Esukaris members. Do those lines still mean anything, or since the swap and the last couple weeks of being merged, have those lines kind of dissolved?
I think they have dissolved, just because we're way far too into the game right now to be like sticking to the original like people or not, or I don't know. I think you have to like think about everyone who's in the game in a way that will benefit you. But at the same time, it's like, who would have thought? Noir lost everything.
All right, Ben, as I said before, there are 7 people left, and in a few minutes that'll be down to 6. Should you make it to the final vote off, do you feel as if you've done enough to be able to be voted as Sole Syrvivor?
That's a heavy question. Without like, I actually hate this question. But I think that I've done stuff that has like, I don't know, allowed me to show that I'm playing this game. I'm such a big fan, so I was just like coming into this. I didn't want to ever like think that I.
Sorry, I interrupted your moment.
Yeah, he likes my game. So I think that everyone here has obviously done what they could have to get to this point. So we're all doing stuff in our own way, in our own game, and I think what is going to allow us to win is how we're going to articulate that in the final tribal council. It's not. It's just honestly how you're going to be able to top up your game. So I think we all can do that at this point.
Graham, when you're strategizing for a vote off, how much of a factor does the jury play into that decision? Because in the end, they're the ones who decide who wins.
I think right now, I'm thinking more of who would I maybe have a better chance of being the finale than who's on the jury, because at the end of the day, if not me, or like most of us are going to be on the jury anyway at this point. It's only going to be 2 or 3 in the finale, so everyone else will be on the jury. So I think it's more important thinking about who is there in the end than who is going to be deciding who wins.
Johnny, how do you feel about your position with the jury right now?
Okay, I mean, I'm sure Andrew has a little grudge that I used the idol on myself and not him, so I'm sure that that's good, but I feel okay. I mean, not great, but not terrible.
Kato, have there been talks about the final vote off yet? Like how many people will be there, who you want to go with, stuff like that?
I think people are starting to think about the final 3 and final 2. I think people are starting to think about the final 3 and the final 2 and like who they could be strong against and who they could not beat at all. I feel like the people who know that they've been playing a strong game know that they need to be the ones doing the moves right now, because they know that like if they don't, then people are gonna want them out. And the people who are just here for, you know, the fun of it, you're just having fun at the same time. Sorry.
Zach, this is one of the last weeks that Idols and Advantages can be played. Are you anticipating any plays of that nature that can really shake up your plans?
Probably in the near future. I mean, it would make probably a lot of sense before that timeline expires to use it and help your game.
Said a lot without saying a lot there. But, Phelan, you've all been playing this game together now for 56 days. Is it tough to send someone home at this point after doing so much together?
Wow, yeah, I think we're all shocked at that number. None of us really realized like how long we've actually been playing. But it makes sense because I've definitely gotten to like know a lot of these people, and even the people that are on the jury, like you do get to know them and it becomes more personal. And now I think is when it's tough to make those decisions, because I'm assuming none of us have ever played a game like this before, and it's hard to like find the line between like being personable and like having a real connection with someone, but also playing a game based on strategy and skill and like just logic.
Valentina, does everyone sitting here deserve to be here right now, or are there still goats in the game right now?
Good question. Honestly, Let me think about it. I think that everyone who's here did something right to be here. You know, something along the way, like made a good connection or like made a bad connection. It just like went towards their favor. Do I think everyone here deserves to be here? No, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think everyone that's here deserves to be here right now. I think there's, you know, a couple imposters, but honestly, that's not really me to say right now. Like, I don't have say in what goes on later on, so we'll see.
Anyone have any thoughts on what Valentina said, that not everyone sitting here right now deserves to be here?
I appreciate the honesty.
I think that's what happens in Survivor is you see strong players looking to bring along players they think they can beat, yet also there is some strategy to maybe being a weaker player. It just depends how you play your game. Because we've seen in like the show, if you play your game to be a weaker player, you can get carried to the end. And that can be your speech at the end, but it just depends, yeah.
I think everyone's the hero of their own story. So everyone's gonna look around in the room and be like, oh, I know the 2 people who don't deserve to be here. I'm not one of them. So I think that's just interesting to see.
Ben, we'll wrap it up with you. How crucial is it to be on the right side of this vote tonight?
This vote, I'd say pretty imperative, just because next week it's going to define, there's just been this conversation of pairs, so I think that this will define that even more, or it will break that up. So you have to either believe in your pair, or get away. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Anyone else, any final thoughts before we go vote?
Let's do it.
I will play my advantage because this is the last week I can do it. So my vote is worth to whoever I rate.
Turn that up. All right, so this advantage note reads, congratulations, you have found an advantage in the game. This advantage is the double vote advantage. In keeping with the theme of Survivor Double Trouble, when this advantage is played, you will be able to cast 1 additional vote, so long as it is for the same person your original vote was for. This gives your vote double power. Now, this is a real advantage, which means this will go into play, so when Graham goes to vote, he will have 2 votes as long as they're for the same person. Anyone else before we go vote? All right, Kata, start with you.
I knew Graham was gonna play his immune or advantage, but I'm just hoping everyone's voting with me. TBH, I don't know.
Alright, well, I'm fully expected to go right now. Ben played me. I'll give him credit. So, this looks like this is gonna be my final goodbye.
Sorry, dude. Truly.
We'll tally the votes. I've tallied the votes. All right, once the votes are read, each vote is final. If anyone has an advantage or hidden immunity that they would like to play, now's the time to do so. All right, read the votes. First vote, Zach. Second vote, Graham. Third vote, Zach. Fourth vote, Graham. That's 2 votes Zach, 2 votes Graham, 4 votes left. Fifth vote, Zach. Sixth vote, Graham. That's 3 votes Zach, 3 votes Graham, 2 votes left. Stuck. Seventh vote, Zach. Eighth vote, Graham. We have a tie, which means we will re-vote. Everyone will vote again, except for Zach and Graham, which means Graham's double vote advantage is now null. So the other 5 of you will go and re-vote. All right, Kato, we'll start with you.
Dog, I think you deserve to be here more than Zach does, but I'm doing this for my sake in the future, so sorry.
Graham leaves, bro. I'm so.
I'll read the votes. First vote, Graham. Second vote, Zach. That's 1 vote Graham, 1 vote Zach, 3 votes left. Third vote, Graham. Fourth vote, Zach. That's 2 votes Graham, 2 votes Zach, 1 vote left. The 12th person voted out of Survivor Syracuse Season 6 and the 5th member of our jury, Graham. Graham, drop your buff. Team has spoken.
Good luck to everyone.
I'll just wait for the doors.
All right, just like that, down to 6 people. 1/3 of the original 18 are left. See how it goes from here. I have nothing else for you guys today. I'll see you guys in the next challenge. Survivors, happy Halloween weekend. Yes, I have a mustache. Yes, it looks sexy. Control yourselves.